Today we're going to look at Westmoreland Glass's Rookwood line. Pottery effects on glass. We're going to cite three references. The first one is Westmoreland Glass by Chaz West, where he cites that they were made in purple and that these stags on this set were hand painted, and brown, where they used a monochrome transfer for the decorations, and they were sold through the Butler's Brother catalog in 1910. And Westmoreland claimed to be the first ones to do this, and it was in direct competition with the more expensive pottery that was coming from Europe. And they were decorated in the catalog with elks, mottos, and drinking scenes. I don't have any with mottos, so I won't be able to show you that. But our second reference, Lorraine Kovar, in her book, Volume 3, 1888 to 1940, has at least 12 variants with mottos, drinking scenes. I actually have one that's not listed here. Playing dice. Of course, the tankards are the rarest because you would buy 5 or 6 of the glasses, the 10-ounce glasses, but only get one tankard. And the Encyclopedia of Milk Glass by Betty and Bill Newbound. Here they show 3 variations: the drinking, the mottos, and the stag. Right below that, importantly, they show a product that they attribute to Fostoria. With thanks to a Westmoreland collector on the Westmoreland Glass Facebook page, he was able to point out a correction that when Newbounds contributed these round-handled mugs to Fostoria, they were incorrect. An author well-versed in Westmoreland named Ruth Grizzle found a 1910 Westmoreland advertisement proving that Westmoreland Specialty Glass Company also made the round-handled mugs. So Newbounds, you can make a correction. These are all Westmoreland, the antlered handles and the rounded handles. Newbounds is wrong, wrong, wrong. One of the first things you'll notice whenever you're reviewing some of these side by side is they're all made the same, but they're all different. Whoever was holding the spray gun got all different kinds of shades, lip patterns, but there's also pretty significant differences in the monochrome transfers themselves. I don't know how those were manufactured, but if they came on a set of 4, like on a page, or they were singles, or they had them redone month to month. There are variations in the amount of fur on the stag, the size of the nose on these guys. There's just slight variations. There's also variations where they were placed. Like on this one, the lady's skirt goes down and then it goes down further. And on this one, it just goes down and the rest of it's off into the decoration. Some had got paint inside the glass, and some got very little inside. This is a darker brown than this one. So, were they made 3 years apart? There are differences, but yet they're very much the same. This is a close-up of the antler handle I was telling you about. One of these has something very unusual on it that I noticed when I first purchased it. On the back, this is plain across here. On this one, I don't know if I can get close enough for you to see it. It has the missing B period, P period, O period, and the word Elks. That would have said benevolent, protective, order elks. Now, I don't know whether a local elks ordered a lot of these from the factory with that applied, or some bartender spent his day scratching that on there so nobody would steal it. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's scratched on. I don't know how they would have got that, in the firing process to say that. It's a hand script. It's somebody's handwriting. It's not done like on a typewriter or anything. I thought that was pretty unusual that you would have an elk with the benevolent brotherhood, protective brotherhood of elks. That's pretty cool. Other Rookwood items are these vases or little bottles. I don't know what the proper name is. Call them what you want, but this Arabian figure was quite popular. It wasn't Lawrence of Arabia, even though the Arabian Revolution that Lawrence was involved in was going on in 1915 to 1918, I believe. That doesn't look anything like him. And I would say 90% of their Rookwood was done in these browns, because that's the way the pottery was being made today. But we have this green one. And the scene on this is a drinker in front of a big barrel of some kind of thing marked 1612 at the top. My favorite Rookwood piece is this Indian transfer. He's the only Indian I have. But what I find really special about it is in hand script on the side. It is marked Sequi, S-E-C-Q-U-I, Centennial, Pittsburgh, without the H. From 1891 to 1911, Pittsburgh was spelled on all official documents without an H. That was thanks to President Benjamin Harrison, who was a bit anal and decided to Americanize a lot of the spellings, like center, the way we normally spell it instead of the T-R-E. And anything with a burg was supposed to drop their H, trying to Americanize things. So that was the spelling of Pittsburgh between 1891 and 1911. So this would have been made prior to 1911. Well, I ran to the computer to find out when the sesquicentennial for Pittsburgh was 1908. So that dates this piece to 1908. Other notable facts that I found when I researched that was Pittsburgh turned on its first electric street lights, and they laid the cornerstone for the Soldiers and Sailors Memorial with Civil War veterans in attendance, which is still in use today. So that was a souvenir piece from the sesquicentennial Pittsburgh. And there's no PA on there, because I guess everybody knew where Pittsburgh was. So, that's, of course, this is the only vase I have. Or, I guess, if you're a real heavy drinker, you could use it for that. That's my Rookwood. I really like that. I leave the mugs out on a shelf. I had to dust them before the white you see on that is unwashed dust back on the decorations back there in the back row, white fuzz. I don't like to dust them too much because the paint will come off eventually. Well, thanks for watching and happy hunting.